You're watching ZBM TV9 Bermuda.
You can count on us.
Save $3 on juicy red seedless watermelons, only $15.99 each. Big savings of $2 on sirloin pork chops, only $2.99 per pound. The best quality ingredients, Yoplait yogurt, only 99 cents for a 6-ounce tub. Chef Boyardee microwavable meal, 7.5-ounce tub, only $1.79. Save 80 cents on Kool-Aid drink mix, 19-ounce tub, just $4.99. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, May the 5th, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Victory for a gay couple as they challenge the decision of the Registrar General not to grant them a marriage license here in Bermuda. Calling it a human rights victory, their attorney suggests there could now be an increase in such applications. And that's a good thing, since, as he puts it, love wins. Gary Moreno brings us up to date.
The matter centered around an application made before the Registrar General by Winston Godwin and Greg DeRoche to be lawfully married in a contract marriage before the Registrar, but were refused. An approach was made to the court on the basis that under the Human Rights Act, Mr. Godwin and Mr. DeRoche were entitled to be married. The argument being that every human being is entitled to the same rights despite their religious or other beliefs, and the time had come for people of a certain sexual orientation to have their full rights under the law. Today's result, according to Mark Pettengill, who represented the two men, means the registrar must now issue them with a license and that they are entitled under Bermuda law to be married.
I anticipate that our clients will now be going back to the registrar along with a host of other Bermudians, non-Bermudians, saying we wish to be married, contracted marriage in our country now. It's going to happen. Same-sex marriage is now legal in Bermuda.
He explains, though, that this is currently only limited to contract marriages.
You're going to have a same-sex contracted marriage at the registrar. Doesn't mean that churches don't have to marry people, and that's their right. That's their religious freedom. It's protected, but same-sex marriage is legal in Bermuda.
Madam Justice Charles Etta Simmons, in delivering her judgment, stated the applicants are entitled to an order compelling the registrar to act in accordance with the Marriage Act, and that same-sex couples are entitled to be married under the Marriage Act 1944. The final order is to be determined as it relates to the definition of marriage being between a man and a woman and reformulated to read the voluntary union for life of two persons to the exclusion of all others. Winston Godwin, one of the applicants, was inside the court at the time the judge delivered her ruling. He calls it a red-letter day for the LGBT community and the country as a whole.
It's a big day for anyone that's ever felt lost, confused. It shows them that their country is behind them, the legal system is behind them, and it's overwhelming. The support is just, I don't think I was expecting this much, and I cannot thank everyone enough for their support. I just look forward to be able to help better Bermuda.
Get married.
Forward and get married!
While Mr. Pettengill and his clients and their supporters expressed elation over this ruling, representatives and members of the group Preserve Marriage, which sought to ensure the definition of marriage in Bermuda remained as being between a man and a woman, expressed their disappointment at the decision, saying they will provide a statement later on. Although one member did give this brief, unofficial comment.
I think it's just a sad day for Bermuda that once again, like the U.S., we have let the few decide for the many. So Bermudians are going to have to decide what they want now.
Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Meanwhile, the Preserve Marriage pressure group saying, quote, the judgment is an attack on traditional marriage. It's an attack on Christian and other faith-based and traditional values. And the judgment directly undermines the diverse population of Bermuda, specifically the over 14,100 persons who participated in the referendum. Preserve Marriage takes the position that the referendum fell short of the required votes to be official due to the fact that the premier who called the referendum stated publicly that it would be non non-binding. The quote continues, "This has had an obvious impact on the number of people who voted. However, it does not negate the fact that people of Bermuda clearly decided they do not want same-sex marriage because of the vast cultural change that it brings. This decision has taken Bermuda beyond the law of the European Court of Human Rights, which the Human Rights Act of Bermuda must adhere to. Bermuda has now elevated same-sex marriage to a human right, which is contrary to the decision of the European Court." The quote goes on to say, "We firmly believe that to uphold the sanctity of marriage between a man and a woman in Bermuda is not hateful nor bigotry. We will continue to boldly speak the truth on this matter and will consider all options going forward," end quote. Once again coming from the Preserve Marriage group. Meantime, Wayne Ferbert, the opposition MP who brought the bill to the House of Assembly seeking to have marriage continue to be defined as being between a man and a woman, is suggesting that fight may not be over.
Everybody knows that, as far as I'm concerned, that Parliament is supreme, and we have a right to bring the bill back to Parliament within 12 months, and I think the 12 months ends, I think, either end of June or the beginning of July. We will have discussions and talk to some of our friends and colleagues whether we'll bring it back, and go from there. And then Parliament will decide, not the courts. The court has always, the Parliament has, by the Privy Council, has ruled that Parliament has always been supreme because it represents the will of the people. And so the people feels that we should push on and bring this bill back to Parliament. Give me a call. Give every parliamentarian say that we want this bill brought back to Parliament.
In other news, the Bermuda Police Service tonight renewing its appeal to the public to help it solve a case that has so far gone cold. Sunday, July 9th will mark the 5th anniversary of the disappearance of Rudy Lamar Smith, and police are again asking for anyone with information that can be of any use to investigators to come forward and provide closure to his family. Detective Chief Inspector Naima Astwood stating that police, along with Mr. Smith's family, remain committed to solving this crime. Anyone can assist the police can call 247-1739 or the confidential Crime Stoppers hotline at 800-8477. Police add that Mr. Smith's mother, Madeline Rampersad, can also be approached with any information. Stay tuned. More news and tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
Price Red is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce. And an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
If you're looking for extra savings and free benefits
with car insurance
and home insurance,
Colonial has just the cover you need.
There's a free $250 gift voucher for new home insurance customers too, and 10% car insurance discount if you have home insurance.
With a claim service that's quick and friendly.
We call it Cover Without Added Costs.
Call for a quote on 296-3700 or visit cgigroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
It'll be the biggest television event in Bermuda ever. And as the America's Cup official host broadcaster, we'll be taking viewers very close to the action. The races will be thrilling and the social buzz electrifying. With all eyes on Bermuda, this is an opportunity like no other to showcase your brand. Thousands of people will pour into the dockyard, and we'll be broadcasting from the heart of the America's Cup event village with live interviews, contests, and entertainment. Tens of thousands of people at home, on boats, and in social settings will watch our coverage presented in beautiful high definition. Movers and shakers from across the globe will be on island and tuned in to Bermuda Broadcasting. You can grab prime TV and radio spots during and around the races. We'll further boost your exposure via website ads, social media, and high-profile branding.
In terms of marketing your product, brand, or service, this is Bermuda's Super Bowl moment. Welcome aboard.
Good news for the busy tourism and summer travel season. United Airlines began its seasonal service to the island today from Newark, New Jersey. Touching down in Bermuda at 3 p.m. this afternoon, the jet was a Boeing 737 aircraft and made a quick turnaround to depart the island at around 4:15 p.m. Today's United flight marked the first touchdown by the airline for 2017. Previously, the service was suspended during the fall and winter of 2016. Both the Bermuda Tourism Authority and the Department of Airport Operations work closely with United management to ensure continued service to the island. And a big thanks to our Wayne Snappy Astwood for capturing this footage. In health news, breakthrough research coming from Mass General Hospital today showing a link between frequent sun exposure and addiction. While it sounds extreme, this means that avid tanners can actually become addicted to the sensation. Jasmine Patterson spoke with dermatologist and director of the melanoma program, Dr. David Fisher.
The new study suggests there is an ongoing process when our skin is exposed to sunlight, which in theory can alter our thinking to mirror an opioid user. As Dr. Fisher explains, the experiments were conducted on mice.
They would clearly demonstrate a very strong propensity towards seeking ultraviolet radiation and avoidance of withdrawal symptoms. I think it's a very detailed mechanistic look at something that actually many people intuitively sense is going on anyway. I will say myself, even going outside feeling good in the sun, many people will feel fatigue symptoms at the end of a day at the beach. There are lots of descriptions of people who use tanning beds who actually have a hard time stopping. And there have been a number of studies, psychological types of studies, that suggest that these people really do qualify for psychiatric definitions of addictive behaviors.
While sunlight may feel good on our skin, essentially more exposure to ultraviolet radiation increases a person's risk of skin cancer.
People who have darker skin pigmentation, people who have a very easy time tanning, have a much lower likelihood of developing skin cancer from ultraviolet radiation, although they still do have a risk. Darkly pigmented people also do have a risk of skin cancer from ultraviolet radiation, but it is significantly lower. So what this complicates is the advice that you give a population of people in terms of being able to say, here is a dose, here is an amount of exposure that we are confident will be safe for you. We don't really have that number. We don't have that amount. And so what we advise instead is for people to be what we call sun safe.
It may be impossible to avoid the sun in Bermuda. However, Dr. Fisher suggests cancer prevention can start with limiting the amount of sun exposure.
The very best way is actually avoidance. It's unequivocal. If you're not even exposed to it, there is no chance that UV radiation is causing that injury. And that can be done by choosing to sit in the shade, by wearing protective clothing, wearing hats. And we always emphasize that people should wear hats with a big rim, broad rim, to cover the ears, which are otherwise very sensitive. And there's an increase in the incidence of lethal, fatal melanoma sometimes arising on the ears, where the skin is very thin and it can spread very quickly. So it is very important that people understand and also convey that information to the young people, because young people are more likely to go outside. They're also more likely to feel the desire to have a tan, to look healthy.
As summer is clearly upon us, be sure to apply and reapply a broad-spectrum sunscreen to protect your skin from UVA and UVB rays. Avoid the sun between 12 and 3 p.m. at peak times and seek shade while enjoying the beach. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And as we promised last night, we have part two of the announcement that Gene Steed is the local host for the America's Cup opening ceremony. Sancha Durham, Events and Business Support Coordinator, spoke about Steed as the opening day host and Adanja Bailey, one of the MCs.
When Gene in rehearsals hit that first note, I was like, this gave me goosebumps. I was like, this is going to be amazing. And every rehearsal, they nail it. You know, outside of Gene Steed, we have H&H Gumbay's Gumbay Evolution. We also have Live Wires, proud to be Bermudian cast. There's a lot going into this piece. It's actually directed by John Woolridge and produced by Yoshi Productions, David Durham. So it's a lot of local talent that's come together, and they're putting a lot of time and energy into this. And, you know, at this point, they've really made me proud.
Winstead, who is also known for his comedy, combined with Najanja, there was a certain magic in the air.
Well, for me, it's going to be fun because I'm going to be headlining the opening with music. And, of course, this gentleman, he'll explain what he's going to do.
I'm the MC, and so my job is to make sure that everything flows smoothly. And if it doesn't, I blame it on Gene. Because he started, he's going to be at the opening ceremony.
He says that I'm the heavyweight because of my stomach.
You look at his stomach. His stomach's bigger than mine. He's the heavyweight. I'm a featherweight compared to this guy.
Have you two actually ever worked together before?
Of course. Hey, man, he was outside of Bootsy. This was the person who I looked up to locally, you know, so he's a legend when it comes to my world. You know, so anytime I get the pleasure of just seeing him, I make it a point to let him know that I'm in the building. Because he walks straight across me. He's getting old. And I stop him in his old tracks. And I tell him, hey, boy, you see me? And he goes, hey, man, come give me a hug.
In other news, Bermuda's first Carifta Games gold medalist is back home after 37 years as the athletic director at Tufts University. Branwen Smith-King captured gold in the 1971 Games in Barbados in the shot put. Smith is now the executive director of the Bermuda Sloop Foundation.
The executive director for the Bermuda Sloop Foundation. This is my first month into the position. Been back since the end of March, started in early April. Excited for this opportunity to help working with young people and continue to do the good work that the Spirit does for our children and for the community. So it's exciting.
Yeah. Would you delve into any coaching while here, track and field?
So, you know, of course. Given the time, and, you know, I wanted to get settled here first in my new job, new life, been away for 37 years and coming back. It's quite an adjustment culturally. My family's all over the world right now, so, but obviously I want to get engaged. That was one reason when I came back, so I can do this work, which I'm really excited about, and working with the great people that are already here, and also getting out in the community in sports and athletics, because that's, you know, the foundation of where it all started for me.
Your daughter, Arancha, an Olympian, Hall of Fame at her school, but I understand an even greater accomplishment is around the corner.
Yes, Arancha, you know, Olympian, two-time Olympian, and it was always for her to have a balance in her life with her academics and athletics. So in 2 weeks, she graduates from law school from Georgetown University. So we're very proud of Arancha, as well as Tequila. But Arancha, you know, she took a couple of years off to go the professional route as an athlete. Was disappointed she couldn't get to Rio last year because of her injury she's had with her knee, and you know, went back to school and spent this past semester in London, and in 2 weeks she'll be getting her law degree and practicing law.
Oh, proud mom.
No more bills.
Let's go back to 1971, Clive Long, that first gold medal for Bermuda and Carifta Games. I mean, and they're just catching up with you here the last couple of years. You know, your records are just, a few of them are just being broken.
Well, that's about time. Yeah, I think, you know, my love and joy for sports and athletics started, you know, here in Bermuda.
Turning to weather, the bad news is that it's going to rain Saturday night and all day Sunday, but the good news is that we desperately need that rain. Here's what we can expect from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This forecast is brought to you by BF&M Insurance Group. And as we take a look here across Bermuda, we've had high pressure in place. It's been very nice, but notice back to the west, just off the coast here of the U.S., we are seeing a front. That is going to advance out ahead of it. We're going to see the winds picking up and showers and thunderstorms and some heavy downpours and maybe even some flooding and poor drainage areas is possible for Saturday night through Sunday. Taking a look across the area, though, right now, we're just seeing very quiet conditions. Our current conditions here, we're seeing humidity at 70%. And in Hamilton, the temperature is 77 degrees. 76 in St. George's, Somerset and Dockyard at 77 degrees. We have winds out of the southwest right now at 14 to 18 knots. The water temperature is 75 degrees. Waves inside the reef are 1 to 2 feet and outside the reef are 3 to 5 feet. Now taking a look at the forecast for tonight, partly cloudy. Winds are going to start to increase, so becoming windy with a temperature of 72 degrees. Then for tomorrow, windy with times of clouds and sun. It's still going to be a warm day, and we could see a shower in the area as we go into the afternoon. That's out ahead of the front. But then during the evening, nighttime hours especially, that's when that pushes in. We do have a small craft warning in effect, and that is through the weekend. High tide number 1 comes at 6:09 a.m. on Saturday morning. Low tide is at 12:36 p.m. in the afternoon. And then our second high tide comes at 6:35 for your Saturday early evening. And then the low tide is at 1:03 in the morning on Sunday morning. So here's your gateway forecast. If you're heading to Toronto, you'll be dealing with some rain around the area and 47 degrees. New York is at 64 with some showers. Atlanta, 70 degrees, nice with some sunshine, and 83 in Miami. Jamaica is at 88 degrees with a couple of showers around the area, and Trinidad is at 93. Now, your extended outlook here, we are going to see for your Saturday perhaps a shower around later in the afternoon, otherwise becoming windy and warmer. Staying the same amount. We're still going to see temperatures in the upper 70s, so staying warm for your Saturday. Then we have windy, gusty conditions Saturday night through Sunday with some rain and some storms in the area. There could be some heavier downpours. Watch for flooding and poor drainage areas. Monday, it looks like we're drying out with perhaps only a lingering shower, and then it's going to be a little more unsettled as we go into the midweek. Tuesday, clouds and sun, perhaps a spotty shower. And then we could also see a spotty shower or two around for your Wednesday. To keep up to date with everything the weather has to offer, tune in to Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Jane's a senior living alone. Although she's getting old, like all of us, she's still young at heart and wants to live a full life. So she hired our trained caregivers at Bermuda In-Home Care. We're a one-stop shop that includes home cleaning, meal preparations, medicine purchases with free delivery, transportation, and much more. So Jane is free to do what's truly important to her. Call 441-705-4424 now for a free consultation, or visit our website at bermudainhomecare.com today for more information.
Be watching on Monday, May 15th for the 108th Pre-Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon Derby Special. One thing is certain, new champions will be crowned as the race comes out of the East End for only the second time in 39 years. Last year's winners Lamont Marshall and Ashley Eswanick have opted not to compete. Several key runners are absent this year, but we will be speaking with the new favorites. That's the Pre-Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon Derby Special, Monday, May 15th at 8 p.m. on ZFB TV 7.
Now here's the latest from the sports desk.
Bermuda's Youth America's Cup Red Bull team will depart Bermuda this evening, heading to Italy for a regatta.
Team BDA will compete in the GC 32 Racing Tour, which will take place at the Riva del Garda on Lake Garda's northmost corner. This Italian lake is considered one of the world's must-visit regatta venues. 4 continents will be represented among the 11 foiling one-design catamaran teams competing in the opening event of the 2017 Racing Tour. While Europeans form the majority, this will be the first time Bermuda has competed at this regatta. Team Bermuda continue their preparation as they prepare to take on 11 other countries in the Red Bull Youth America's Cup in June.
The T.N. Tatum Middle School boys are trying to emulate the girls who won the Bermuda School Sports Federation's Super 8s yesterday.
Tien Tatum won the toss and elected to send Salters to bat. Salters scored 48 runs in the final off their allotted 7 overs. Emily Hartwig led Salters scoring with 26 runs, while Brianna Ray added 10. Tien Tatum reached their target with 2 overs to spare without a loss of a wicket. Zachary Turner scored 28 runs, with Ezreal Baisden adding in 13. Tien Tatum restricted Whitney to 32 runs in their semifinal matchup. Ken Shea Richardson led Whitney with 9 runs. Turner again led Tien Tatum with 12 runs as they again crossed their target with 2 overs to spare. Salters sent Dawood Middle School into bat in the other semifinal. Dawood scored 48 for the loss of 1 wicket. Chance Godwin was the top scorer with 22 runs. Ray was the top scorer for Salters with 25 runs, while Hartwig added 14. Staying with cricket news, Kamal Lavrock and his Cardiff MCCU teammates won their 2-day MCC championship match on first inning score over Cambridge. Resuming their inning at 50 without loss, Cardiff went on to score 375 for 9 declared. Michael Norris was their top scorer with 71, while Lavrock scored 27 before being run out. Cardiff sent Cambridge back to bat for the final hour of the game, and they finished on 59 for 5, with Lavrock returning figures of 6 overs, 2 for 39. Alex Brewster bowled 5 overs, 3 maidens, 3 wickets for 4 runs. Dowray Rollins was in action for his Sussex Seconds teams as they went down by 134 runs in their international training friendly match against Bangladesh. Batting first, the visitors scored 314 all out, with Amrul Kays the top scorer on 92 before he retired. Rollins returned bowling figures of 10 overs, 2 for 54. In reply, Sussex Seconds were dismissed for 180. Adam Robson was their top scorer on 49. Rollins could only manage 6 runs. Bermuda was represented strongly during the Linden Institute Track and Field Championships as Corey Simons, Mateo Dill, Malik Jewell, Sejan Harvey, Jaden Ming, and Quinay Otterbridge represented the St. Johnsbury Academy Track and Field team. Simons won the boys' 200-meter dash in a time of 23:78. He would also win the 400-meter varsity final in a time of 52:81. Otterbridge clocked a time of 2:38.78 on her way to winning the girls' 800-meter final. Ming finished second during the boys' 800-meter final with a time of 2:11.34. Dill finished 7th in a time of 2:24. Otterbridge finished second during the girls' 1500-meter race, stopping the clock in a time of 5:14.50, with Ming clocking a time of 4:33.96 on his way to finishing 5th in the boys' 1500-meter race. Simons was a member of the St. Johnsbury men's 4x100-meter relay team that won the varsity final in a time of 47.59. Harvey, Joel, Dill, and Ming teamed up to win the boys' 4x400-meter relay final in a time of 3:44.43, and the same group came back to win the boys' 4x800-meter relay final in a time of 8:54. Lionel Messi is free to represent Argentina in their World Cup qualifiers after his 4-match international ban was overturned by Bermuda's Larry Musselin and his FIFA Appeals Committee. The 29-year-old Barcelona forward was suspended for directing insulting words at an assistant referee during a 1-0 win over Chile back in March. He missed 1 match, Argentina's 2-0 loss in the World Cup qualifiers against Bolivia. In a statement from Musselin's committee, it said his behavior was reproachable. The evidence was not sufficient. He will now be available for matches against Uruguay, Venezuela, and Peru as Argentina fight to secure a place in next summer's World Cup finals in Russia. During the Chile game, Messi was caught on camera venting his anger at an assistant who signaled he had committed a foul. He was not shown a card at the time. The FIFA's appeal committee concluded the evidence available was not sufficient to establish an infringement that occurred. The appeals committee nevertheless underlines the importance of always showing respect to match officials, stressing that such a principle is essential in football and any unsportsmanlike conduct may be contrary to the principles of fair play cannot be accepted. End quote. 4 Boston College men's soccer student athletes, including Zico Lewis, have been named to the 2016 All-ACC Academic Men's Soccer Team. Minimum academic requirements for selection to the All-ACC Academic Team are a 3.0 grade point average for the previous semester and a 3.0 cumulative average. Lewis was drafted in the first round of the MLS Super Draft by the New York Red Bulls and was named to the All-ACC First Team after last season. He finished his Boston College career as the all-time assist leader with 27. He also ranks 6th in the career points with 63 and
Save half price on fresh strawberries. 1 pound package, only $4.99. Save more than half price on fresh Purdue chicken leg quarters, only 99 cents per pound. Carnation evaporated milk, 410-gram tin, only $1.59. Tough and strong. Your choice of Good Sense tall kitchen or trash bags, only $2.39. Carolina rice 2-pound bag, only $2.79. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us. Be sure to watch a very special edition of Up Close with Colin Thompson, featuring Bermuda's English County cricketer, Delray Rawlins, Wednesday, May 10th on ZFB TV7, beginning at 8 p.m. Watch as the exciting Sussex all-rounder offers insight into his budding career and meteoric rise to first-class cricket. This and more on a very special edition of Up Close with Colin Thompson, Wednesday, May 10th on ZFB TV7, beginning at 8 p.m. Sponsored by New Day Organics, exclusive distributors of Hydrate Alkaline Water, PG Sports, Paradise Air Charters, Lindo's Group of Companies, Robin Hood Pub and Restaurant, and Dennis Wainwright and Family.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for sharing your Friday evening with us, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend. Good night.